dominated the world have used money to rule it and have ruled it in their own interest. It looks at a world economic system that has no regard for the poor, that has no regard for the small nations, that has no regard for the poor of the small nations. And the policy is a dignified policy, is not a violent policy, is not a policy of guns. It's a very honorable policy, but it is a very clear policy. It is a policy that calls the poor of the world to stand together, to stand firm together, to struggle together, to struggle for change, to struggle for justice, to struggle through organization, to struggle through will, to struggle through determination, to struggle to build a new kind of world in which your children and mine will walk with more dignity, with better housing, with better opportunity, with better prices, with better response from the World Monetary System. That is the world to which I call you. That is the world for which I struggle, and no power will turn me back from that world. And comrades, if you go and walk with me, if you go and step with me, if you go and move with me, we're moving as warriors. We're moving in determination. We're moving to struggle. We're moving to change that world. No power will turn us back.
Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green, dog. Me no chow chow. No. Ha 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 ho ho. Who ya know?
But if change is what we really want to see, ladies and gentlemen, then we must rise up. We must unite. We must advocate. We cannot remain silent. Where are the young men, the young women, the men, the women, the boys, the girls who will put aside political divide and do what is best for Jamaica? Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. Even our pledge, our national pledge, says before God and all mankind, we cannot see a better Jamaica unless we return to the foot of the cross. Jamaica under God must increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity, and play our part.
If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
I said I'm happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his hand. Yes, mommy, I see you. Yes, the journey is almost over. Shut up. And the battle is nearly won. And I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I have a feeling in my heart. The best is yet to come. Slide of it. Over there, so wanna ready to get up, get up now, man. Get up now, man. I feel mad in this place. Let's go. I am happy every day as I travel through this land. I've been mighty blessed by God, and I'm holding to his. Over there, so I said the journey's almost over. I know the battle is nearly won, and I have a feeling in my heart, the best is yet. Come on, sir. I said the best is yet to come. When I walk through heaven's gates, yeah, I said the first time I'll see Jesus, I can hardly wait. And he showed me to a man, son, and said, child, this is your home. And I have a feeling in my heart. You know this one? Listen, shut. Tell me who.
Oh, you know. I want to hear the angels singing. I want to be in that number. I want to hear that trumpet song. We have you now. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear archangel. What I want to hear when my name is called. I want to hear. Everybody know I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. I want to hear. Watch out now. I want to see the angel marching. I want to be in that number. I want to hear. I want to hear that trumpet song. I want to hear archangel voice. I want to hear. God bless her now. I want to hear. When my name is called, I want to hear. Everybody do so. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be. Get something and wave it. Get something and wave it. Get something out. If I'm not living for Christ, then I cannot be happy. Walk out, Christian, walk out, Christian. I only live my life to please. Send me rocking for the rope and the star on my phone. I only live my life to please. Live up my life. Come on, man, we have done, man. Everybody, so. Live up my life. so make we tell some people. I know one prayer we pray. We
Blood and fire, comrades who are in jungle tonight. On the nose that the word is love. Comrades, I come with a speech, but it's a different speech may I forgive tonight. But before I go into that, we have been saying all night that young people know set time come. And I want to bring up a young man who has looked for himself, him read for himself, him search for himself, and when him done, him realize that the only choice he could choose is the People's National Party. And I want to welcome Comrade Harry.
Hold on. We don't have much time. When I say time, you say come. Time. Senator Murray, somebody asked me, Perry, why aren't you a Labourite? Me ever fresh, me no green.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Who ya know? Underpants, Paolo. We the gal in the
Hold on, cut in, man, hold on.
Me coulda never green.
Hold on, no DJ, man, hold on. I don't have much time. The next Prime Minister, let me shake your hand, so big up yourself, Mark Golin, Jensek, and brother, Dayton Campbell Doctor. Listen, in 1938, the People's National Party was formed out of the vision to help the poor people. It was born out of restlessness of the people seeking for better. And I believe that the People's National Party continues to be the answer for the people. Can I hear an amen? Hold on. In 1995, under the auspices of PJ Patterson, the most honorable, there was a revitalization and an extension of the new National Youth Service Program, which gave young people the opportunity to earn Commanderman Church. It gave people the opportunity to better themselves. I don't have much time, but hear what? I hear the other people them say, you must choose Jamaica, but you can't choose Jamaica without choosing the people. God bless you.
Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow. No. Ha, ho. Me coulda never green dog, me no chow-chow.
You have your blood, comrades.
Comrades, I want to let you know that young man is the former guild president at the University of the West Indies. That is the kind of young people that we attract in the People's National Party.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
We don't like you. Red light, people like red light blue. We don't like you. We don't like you.
Jta Speaks Out.
like you. Red light, people like red light blue. Me no like you. Me no like, me no like you.
The perspective with Perry come is Junior. Big up yourself. The best is yet to come. This is my perspective. Telling you my perspective. This is my perspective to bring change that I feel me objective. Scandal after scandal. Look where Jamaica come to. Them a rob the money and a thief a lot too. Election tactics, what a disgrace. Them cut off ribbon and the place. Now see if it's a prime minister. Are you me a address? Police a kill off the youth if you check. Talking about the way country are the best. But though this are my perspective, telling you my perspective. These are my perspective to bring change that I feel.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is much better. If you're seeing, if you're hearing, everybody's talking about Desmond Eyes. Listen to me, man. Desmond Mackenzie got what was inevitable for him. Sometimes we need a wake-up call. Sometimes we need a wake-up call. If you're seeing me, if you're hearing me, let me know if you're seeing and if you are hearing me. A pleasant evening to you all. God is good. Like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching and you've not yet subscribed, please to touch the subscribe button. God is good. God is good. God is in control. Didn't get to go back to studio today. Too many things to do today. So I preferred to just stay put and to do the show this evening. Yes, we have to do what we have to do. We have a very special interview at around 7:15. A very serious conversation. Many consider it an exclusive as well, because a lot of things are happening regarding our teachers, ladies and gentlemen. So Mr. Mark Malava will be here with us a little later on to tell us some things as it relates to the teachers, because I've been hearing a number of things, ladies and gentlemen, and it doesn't sound good. So we're just going to have a little sit down. We're going to have a little talk. We're going to ask a few questions. And we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of what is truly happening with our teachers. Too many of our teachers are complaining. But that's for a little later. We've been hearing a lot of things in the political grapevine regarding the big mouth Warmington and JLP's internal feuds. That they don't like when people to talk. They don't like when people talk about their dirty laundry and their disunity, right? But whenever the PNP have any little internal things to sort out, it is noise abroad. But guess what? I'll not be holding back tonight. Well, at least for the little time before Mark joins us. Because by 8:15 the latest, I have to be out of here for a band practice. Then I have daddy duties myself. So, we're going to get right into the roll call. Let me know where you're viewing from. I'm going to touch on a few matters before Mr. Malava joins us. Yes, so let me know where you're viewing from so we can get right into some of the other topics that we must touch on tonight. East Portland, blessings to you, blessings to you, Southfield, St. Elizabeth, Silo, St. Elizabeth, Canada, Brooklyn, Kingston, Portmore, Pines, blessings, Old Harbor, Maryland, St. Martin, Toronto, Canada, Old Harbor, Listowel, Ontario, Canada. Like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. Mountain View, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Florida is here. Hamilton, Ontario, New Jersey, Manchester, West Palm Beach, Florida, Ginger Hill, Eastern Westmoreland. Who else? Am I missing out anybody? Tampa, Florida, New Jersey, Manchester, Falmouth, Portmore, May Pen. Bless up, Anata Bay. Bless up, Port Maria, Queens, New York, Rosedale. Yes, Orange, New Jersey, East Portland. Bless up to each and every one of you. Christiana, Mount Salem. Bless up, Wisconsin, Florida, St. Thomas, Baltimore is in the house. Bless up to each and every one of you. Maurice, Carberry, Queens, New York. Bless up, Carol, Donna, Danet. Bless up, Yvonne, Shanika, Janet, Ian, Dave Wedderburn, everybody, Stedman, Doreen, Ypre, Malva, Audrey, Andrea, Michelle, Jenny, Josette, Winsome, Listen Man, Michael, Uncle Johnny, everybody. I can't call out everybody's name, but big up to Elaine. The entire perspective, massive. Remember, if you're watching and you're not yet a subscriber, please to subscribe. I'm seeing 11.2K subscribers. We are growing and we're growing quickly. Let us continue to tell a friend to tell a friend. Charlestown, Novlet, Samuels, so that we can continue to grow. Tell somebody to come on. We're going to be having the JTA president on, Mark Malava. We want to hear from him. We've not really heard much in terms of interviews. So this is certainly going to be a special one on the perspective. So please tell somebody to come on, share the platform, and have persons coming on as we saddle up ourselves for about 7:15 p.m. thereabout. But until then, I am diving right into the careless Jamaica Labour Party. There's a problem that I'm having with the Jamaican media landscape, ladies and gentlemen. And forgive me if I come across harsh. But who remembered this? Who remembered the internal disgrace in the Jamaica Labour Party? At politics, me come for chat tonight. Me I chat politics until we calm things down for Mark Malava. But until then, we're going to chat the politics, ladies and gentlemen. Who remembered when Rosalie Hamilton came out with leaked voice notes with some very damning allegations against Mr. Williams, to the point where he had to get legal backative. Legal backative to threaten Rosalie Hamilton. So them a go swear because Rosalie opened up the old fridge. Not sure if it was an old fridge or a new fridge, ladies and gentlemen, but a fridge open up. The fridge did open up, ladies and gentlemen, and we heard some very damning allegations. When you talk about arson, illicit enrichment, voter suppression, nepotism, all money laundering here, the type of allegations that came, ladies and gentlemen, from Rose's mouth, and it wasn't just one voice note nationwide. It wasn't just one voice note, George Davis. It wasn't just one voice note. There were several. I have 6 of them. Can't play them tonight on a different device. But we play them. About 6 voice notes me have, and I gather that there are many more. This was a total disgrace where the Jamaica Labour Party is concerned. And to how quickly these conversations died out, it was appalling for me. And I said to myself, well, certainly, if the Jamaica Labour Party wants to pay off, and I'm assuming here, I'm not saying that is what took place. But if the JLP page Rosie and say, Rosie, shut up your mouth. We don't want to hear nothing more from you. Remember, you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's the same Jamaica Labour Party where they beat out Desmond Mackenzie daylight. And the Mr. Say him come confess that pan nationwide. Say Edward Siaga beat him come. And that made him into a better person today. Them lean up Desmond Mackenzie face. To this day, he doesn't look quite right. So I don't know what mechanisms, because my begs tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what mechanisms were implemented to silence Rosie. I don't know if them did liquor. I don't know if them did peer off. I don't know if them did threaten her job. I don't know. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is no excuse for the media to be silent regarding these damning allegations. I hear my brother Niani saying that the matter is before the court, Rosie and Donovan. Well, if that is so, we would like to hear what becomes of it. Whether or not the JLP, Ian, sorted out those matters and we hear nothing more about Rosie and Mr. Williams, media, well, at least credible media, ladies and gentlemen, would continue to ask some very serious questions as it relates, yes, to the damaging allegations that we heard coming out of those voice notes. It doesn't matter if the JLP sorted it out. We would have loved to hear clarity surrounding these allegations from not just the persons who were going at it like senseless dogs, but the party leader and the prime minister he so happens to be. Mr. Andrew Wallace. But we didn't hear anything from the Prime Minister. We heard about voice notes surrounding the People's National Party. Cool. And we saw just how many media houses carried it. Even after the party leader, I believe, on all angles, I don't know if it was I think it is tonight. Tonight is a Thursday. So I believe they're going to be having a conversation about it again. Not sure if any representatives from the PNP will be on all angles tonight. But I gather that there will be a discussion surrounding it again. We heard seasoned journalists having an outrage against the PNP voice note. And even after the party leader came and clarified the party's position, being that the voice notes don't carry, or the voice note does not represent the position of the party, persons still had a problem with the party leader's response. They blew this recording out of proportion. They exaggerated what was said. And days after the quote-unquote leak, people are still creating a lot of excitement about the PNP voice note. When really and truly, ladies and gentlemen, if you compare what Rosie said and what was said in the quote-unquote PNP leaked voice note, one is way more, far more damaging. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, there is a coordinated attack against the People's National Party, because the People's National Party, they have been gathering significant ground in the political space. The People's National Party moved from 14 seats to 28. That is worrying for the GLP and those who are affiliated. So they have to come up with all sorts of tactics to try and demonize the People's National Party. One of the ways in which that they're doing this is by attacking Nikisha Burchell. Not that Nikisha Burchell is a weak fence, but they have to try and attack the PNP in one way or the other. Look at what is happening in this country, and we soon get to the disgrace between Miss Morrison and the Minister of Culture, Sports, Gender and Entertainment and whatever falls under your portfolio. We soon get to that disgrace. We soon go into the dirty laundry of the GLP and why they hate young people but despise the PNP for supporting young people. We're going to get to that. But look at what is happening.
Residents of Stokes Hall in St. Thomas are demanding answers after a planned demolition of several homes was halted in the community today. We have the details from Yannick Williams.
We not look weird for them. Who not look weird for them? Look on them. If we not deal with this right now, them people then not no space. Justice for them. See them a little baby them. And then we are doing for. We gone.
Emotions ran high in Stoke Hall, St. Thomas, as residents stood in the path of an excavator they say was brought in to demolish their homes. The operations, residents allege, was ordered by the Sugar Company of Jamaica. Roughly 20 residents gathered at the site as they tried to prevent the demolition from going ahead, even with the police being present.
Few months or weeks ago, the parish council come around and place stop order on the houses that we must not do any more building, which persons comply with that. Shortly after that, we have a meeting with persons from the SCJ holdings, where in that meetings we express our way forward, what we'd like to happen in terms of ownership, either by lease and sale, which that would come a period of time.
Residents say they have formalized letters but are yet to receive answers. They believe greater consultation is needed before any action is taken against their homes.
From then until now, nothing. Only to find out this morning to get phone call to see Jta Vita come, say them come to push down the house them where people suffer for bill. These are some of the names of the persons who is involved in this housing issue.
The protest brought the exercise to a halt, but residents remain uneasy.
So we don't understand how they are going behind our backs after they promise us meeting to send excavator to come lift down where we are trying around here. So
They are now appealing for dialogue and a peaceful resolution. Councillor for the Dalby Division, Michael McLeod, also has concerns.
With SCJ, and SCJ, it need to come, not to have a meeting with me. I want to have a meeting with the resident and SCJ and whoever, probably the minister, who in charge, to come and make we see how best we can serve. Because in this time, we have economic around this side is not very good, right? And very low on employment all the same way. So I am just reaching out to saying that ACJ is responsible for the property. Yes, we are already gone forward. Just meet with them, give them the way forward.
Yannick Williams, TVJ News.
Now, in response, head of the Sugar Company of Jamaica, Nigel Myrie, said no instructions were given for any action to be taken today. He, however, confirmed that demolition teams have been mobilizing. He added that multiple notices were issued by the municipal corporations as well as the Sugar Company of Jamaica for those persons who have been illegally constructing structures on the property to be removed. He, however, said that they have remained defiant, leaving the authorities with no choice but to take enforcement action.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I don't care. At the end of the day, the buck stops right at the very foot of the Prime Minister of this country. And it is under the Andrew-less administration we continue to see the demolition of so many homes. Listen, I understand the legal side of it. But what the people are asking for is consultation. What arrangements will be implemented to see to it that the people are not homeless? They have kids. Think about the children. These are serious conversations that we must have, because in all that we are doing, if in all that we are doing radio gospel, if there is no compassion for the people, government already failed. This is not a Machiavellian society, or it should not be a Machiavellian society where people are living in fear, and you have this big bad government with big bad companies who can call the shot as to who stay and who goes. This is how we are willing to treat even the children. So I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, with all of what is taking place in our country, shouldn't there be a greater outrage against the governance of Jamaica and not the People's National Party? Blessings to you, Dave Wedderburn, everybody asking for you. Remember to like up the live, ladies and gentlemen. Disgusting, narcissistic, dunce labor rights don't see a problem with coming out to hold their government accountable for the what? Corrupt way of governing. No compassion, no love, no nothing for the people. Listen to me, man. A few photo opportunities is not going to cut it. Because even if you give the people one, you take back 10. And what the JLP government do is that they amplify the one thing that they do, But the 10 negatives that they are also doing, that is not being shown to the people. So when the People's National Party calls out the government, you hear say PNP a fight against progress, and PNP a fight against prosperity, and PNP a play politics. That's not the case. And we should not call out the government. Last year, throughout the campaign, the People's National Party was the one who had an actual manifesto. We spoke about the rent to own. We spoke about how we would ensure that people would own land. Because if you know your history, it is the People's National Party that believed in people being able to own land, to own houses, right? To elevate fish pond at Barking Lodge Primary and Infant School. There is no great outrage against those things. And I am wondering, ladies and gentlemen, what is seriously happening in this country? This nonsense about the government writing to the United States. To what? Find out if they should make the memorandum of understanding public. Is that what I'm hearing? Kamina Johnson-Smith, you incompetent minister.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade says it's seeking clarity on why Jamaicans sent to Eswatini in Africa earlier this month weren't directly deported to Jamaica. The men who were landed as part of the controversial third country agreement brings to 4 the total number of Jamaicans sent there. Jamila Maitland reports.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says the government has contacted the United States to find out the circumstances in which 3 Jamaican nationals were sent to Eswatini instead of their home country on the third country nationals agreement.
We had also sought a formal response from the United States government on the circumstances around which it was determined that they should go to Eswatini, but we have not received a formal response.
Minister Johnson-Smith, who was speaking at post-cabinet press briefing Wednesday morning, explains that unlike the agreement for the monthly deportation of Jamaicans from the United States, where the Jamaican government is involved in the coordination, logistics, and transition of the nationals, with the TCN agreement, the Jamaican government is not involved, nor is it notified when nationals are sent to other countries. A total of 6 Jamaican nationals have been deported on the controversial TCN agreement. 4 were sent to Eswatini. The first was in July 2025. He has since returned home, but according to the minister, the others, 2 of whom are in neighboring St. Kitts and Nevis, have decided to stay.
They have all expressed a desire to not return to Jamaica. And in terms of whether the U.S. Formally notifies Jamaica where a Jamaican is sent by way of TCN, the answer is no.
The Jamaican and U.S. governments have signed a similar agreement. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang committed to sharing the agreement with the public. When asked by journalists how soon a copy would be made available, Minister Johnson-Smith says further clarity will be sought on whether the details can be released.
What we would not want is further sensationalization of circumstances in which we are seeking to ensure the best protective approach to Jamaica and to Jamaicans and the most effective management of the arrangement in place.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
Aim. Sakata. We are mash up, Fire under the Holy Ghost. Every crisis, every condition, every operation of hell. Fire, Bishop. I got your back. Fire. Jesus Christ, watch the operation. Jesus Christ, Eastwood Park Road. Come on. Cover your pastor.
Going, Bishop, going. Going, Bishop. Take down the Illuminati. Take down the voodoo. Take down the Freemason. Take down the witches. Take down the warlock. Take down the Wabiaism. The man that the Holy Ghost, you know, let him.
You cannot show the Jamaican people a copy of the Memorandum of Understanding between the government of Jamaica and the United States regarding this TCN agreement because you want to what? Prevent what? It's not about sensationalism. Kamina, it's not about sensationalism. It's about principle. You people already went behind the backs of Jamaicans, behind the opposition, behind civil society, behind human rights groups, signed a damn agreement that you people have no clue as to how it will even be implemented. Because I know the Prime Minister said it has not been operationalized as yet. You people signed something that you have no clue on. And there is a memorandum of understanding. We want to see the MOU. People type in the chat tonight, show us the MOU. We need the MOU. What are you people hiding? Opposition, you need to ask them to make the MOU public. Why the people of Jamaica can't see it? About sensationalism and sensationality and all sort of foolishness. Where is the MOU? We want to know what you signed Jamaican people over to. We want to know what we've gotten ourselves in. And we allow these incompetent ministers and weak jellyback leaders to come and enter into all sort of arrangements. But to no shame, because the Prime Minister said, oh, the United States, they are our friends, and they are our friends, and we're just doing our friends a favor. You know, it's about diplomatic relationship. And no, it's about this, and no, it's about that. And when you write to the United States to find out why the Jamaican people did get deported to Eswatini, you not get not a response. You know why? Because the Andrew Holness administration is not respected by the United States. You don't have no leverage, you don't have no clout, you don't have no respect from the United States. So why should they respond to you? You people are puppets on strings. And the United States have them handing out no throat, and I saw them a move up on the mouth. So you could have right to them till thy kingdom come. The United States will dish any filth and give you people and no gobble it up. Because you have all been compromised. You thought you were going to get a response? The United States prefer respect Michael Manley them and Portia Simpson. Well, as a matter of fact, that is exactly what took place. Check your history. A lot of the world leaders respected Michael Manley. Although the United States fight against him, a lot of them still have to respect that man because of death before the sun. If it wasn't for Portia Simpson Miller, the economy would be atrocious today. It's stagnant now. But it wasn't for Portia Simpson Miller. And how we demanded and commanded and received that respect. The United States don't respect the Andrew Holness administration because you people are compromised, tainted. The incompetent Minister of Foreign Affairs telling us about how Jamaican students choose to stay in Cuba. You know why they have to stay in Cuba and continue their studies? Because they have no alternatives out here. You people are not seeking to see to it that they can complete their studies in Jamaica. You not try to help them. Put on a little something or take off a little something so that they can come home If them come home at the high price, them have to go pay to finish them studies. It's a disgrace. Media is not carrying the Amber Group. This thing with the website. Media not carry it. Cliff Hughes and Nationwide. Step aside from Amber. Sever ties. All of a sudden. From ever since the website came under scrutiny. Cliff Hughes step aside, severed relationship, distance himself from them. All of a sudden, and you're telling me that none of these big media houses don't find that concerning? They don't find something fishy? No journalists to question Cliff Hughes? Nobody to get an interview with the CEO of Amber to ask him some questions? This man is just the CEO of Amber. In build website in a COVID time, them flag it. In build website in a burial time, the amount of millions of dollars we still can't use. And no millions of dollars no use from out of burial. Them expand that same website to create the support Jamaica.gov.jm website. The Auditor General flagged it in February. Amber Group, you know. The common denominator here is Amber Group, and none of these media houses don't have time to talk about PNP and Mark Golding and Leadership Challenge and PNP Vice Note. I want to things that you need to ask the CEO of the Amber Group to come sit down and answer some questions. And if you reach out to him and he denies to give a response, you let the people of Jamaica know that you all tried to get in contact with him or tried to have him answer some questions, and he refused. $1.44 billion or over 1.4 billion, and only less than 2% of that did spend. And everybody seems to be very comfortable with that. Why? Because a JLP in a power. So if a JLP in a power, it no matter. Anything can go on. Yeah, man, a wholeness, a bro God. So nobody questions anything. My question is, if it was the People's National Party in power, ladies and gentlemen, and none of these things were taking place, would Jamaica be so quiet today? Would Jamaica be so comfortable today? The people in the diaspora. If it was the People's National Party who was the government of the day, and you hear that the website where you donate your money to help your family members, the hurricane victims in Jamaica, being flagged by the Auditor General, potential data breaches and donor information and certain sensitive information at risk of being leaked. If it was the People's National Party who did set up this website, you people in the diaspora that donated to this website, would you have been silent today?
So them on fire. And if the enemy on fire, you can't stand up like stooge. You can't go on like a fool. You have to fire back. Somebody load up and say, pop, 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 pop. Lord God, badam, bam, bam, bam. Jesus Christ, what is what pop, 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 pop. Jesus Christ, war tonight, Bishop. Warfare tonight. Warfare. Badam, bam, bam, bam. Boom, boom.
So what is the money doing? Because this is the argument, you know. Oh, the money is not stolen. The money is there. They're doing what? Show us the account. Show us every dollar. Show us every penny. Show us every penny. But guess what is going to happen, Elder Fletcher? The entire country will be going out to different events over the weekend to celebrate emancipation and independence. And we're going to be in our black, green, and gold. And I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a patriotic Jamaican and celebrating. But what is truly there to celebrate when under the Andrew Holness administration, ladies and gentlemen, a number of our Jamaicans, thousands of our Jamaicans, they have not received any assistance from the government. We have a prime minister that is not certified. Andrew Wheatley still not step aside yet. They spat in the faces of Jamaicans and he told you all that your opinions don't matter. The outcry doesn't matter. The church can preach and talk all they want to say. They don't care. They don't care about you. So what are we supposed to do now? Gather in what? In unity to do what? Where's the unity? They shut the opposition out of everything. Where's the unity? They disregard. Look at the renaming of the Paul Bogle wherever. And the opposition say, while we understand or we appreciate the renaming and in honor of Paul Bogle was a deacon in the Baptist church, yet he brought such great change to the political and the political space and the fight for freedom and a fight against oppression. I look up to Paul Bogle. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Nobody's not against honoring Paul Bogle. But why are you going to skip ensuring that the place is fit for purpose? Why are you going to move past ensuring that what is broken is fixed before you go and do that? They are doing things backwards, and when we talk, the only word in their vocabulary is bad mind. I tell you, something is seriously wrong. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. And we're going to talk some JLP business. Yeah, man. Let's take a quick break and come back. Ladies and gentlemen, ensure that you like up the live. Soon come.
And Pearl Therapy, we are here to help you to bring ultimate relaxation to your feet. Our hot stone, Swedish, and deep tissue massage services are here to help you to get rid of tensions, minor swellings, and aches and pain, increase flexibility and circulation. If you are having any heart or circulatory diseases, then this might not be for you. Reach out to us and let's see if you can secure yourself with a foot massage for as low as $4,500. Thank you for choosing Pearl Therapy, the healing hub.
Are you frustrated with your skincare? Are you tired of acne, blemishes, scars, sagging skin, wrinkles, discoloration? Why not enjoy our wide array of products, from skin, hair, and personal care? Place your frustration on our shoulders, and we will get you smiling again. The power of our products are in our formulation and ingredients. Listen to our customer testimonial. This is what she has to say.
Oh my gosh, look at my face. I've been using these products for a year, exactly 1 year. If you have not tried them, you need to try them. They really work. Look at my skin.
Visit our website or contact us at 917-557-6204. Make it Tonian Organics and order yours today.
Food is designed to be felt, not just tasted. Soft warmth, gentle richness, a harmony that melts effortlessly on the tongue. At Cummings Exquisite Caterers, Every dish is an invitation, guided by passion, finished with elegance. We cater for life's most meaningful moments, elegant weddings, private celebrations, and much more. With a serene repast center just 10 minutes away from two major cemeteries. We are located at 38 Joe Blaine Spanish Town Road. Reach out to us 876-573-9124. Cummings Exquisite Caterers, where design.
Our first social media question tonight comes from Instagram. Shania in Kingston, she says, low voter turnout suppresses the effectiveness of a democratic society. Many Jamaicans refuse to vote because they believe both parties are corrupt. What would you say to the significant population of non-voters? And if elected, how will you hold politicians accountable for offenses against the people instead of protecting them?
So in this instance, the question, you have 90 seconds to answer, and we begin with Dr. Holness.
Corruption is a serious problem in our country, and corruption requires strong leadership. From my position as Prime Minister, I have taken action against any member of my political party that has been involved or accused of anything that suggests corruption. In my own case, I have been investigated for a year with an expert forensic auditor. The findings of that report have suggested no corruption. There have been no charges. Every aspect of my report, every aspect of my personal life and my personal financial details are in the public domain. I am the politician about which Jamaica knows the most. And therefore, I am the politician who can stand with the greatest moral authority to treat with any matter that is considered corrupt, as I have done in the past. And I want to give this assurance to the Jamaican people that you know me, you know about me, you can trust me, and you know that I stand against corruption.
Mr. Golding has the opportunity to respond to that social media question as well.
Andrew, what they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company. We have signed the Leadership Code of Conduct developed by Integrity Commission. All of our spokespersons and myself have signed. None of your people have signed it. I am committed to ensuring that all members of the executive, when we form government, will have their Integrity Commission declarations published, not just the leader of the opposition and what should happen, but hasn't happened in your case because you're not certified, the Prime Minister. So the whole question that has been asked is an excellent question. And we really need to step up our vigilance against corrupt behavior, nepotism and cronyism. The volume of scandals under this Jamaica Labour Party government is unprecedented. Over the number of ministers who have had to be removed from frontline duty, many of them parked in the naughty corner in OPM rather than being sacked. It is a disgrace to the country, and your personal situation where you're operating under a deep cloud because your Integrity Commission declarations are not certified also is something which Jamaica cannot go forward with.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is The Perspective, and I'm your host, Perry Cummins Jr. We are almost at 700 live viewers. Ladies and gentlemen, like up the live. We have a very special person backstage. We probably give him just a minute more to get settled, but he's on standby. We're going to be adding him to the stage soon. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things happening regarding. We're going to leave Warmington thing for later on. But we all hear what is happening over there, ladies and gentlemen. But there's a very important matter that we want to talk about regarding our teachers. And I believe it would be remiss of me to not allow the president of the JTA to really and truly share with us the current temperature of our teachers. You know, I mean, every single a person on this planet have a favorite teacher, right? Why? Because teachers play a very important role in the holistic development of a child. It's not just teaching the subject. When you talk about mentorship, when you talk about being a counselor, when you talk about being a role model, we should never limit the teacher's job to just teaching, because you have children coming from broken homes that goes to school and they find solace, they find serenity, they find purpose with our teachers. And to know that there is a little bit of you know, dissatisfaction among our teachers in a country like Jamaica that depends heavily on teachers, good teachers, it's not right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Malava, how are you, sir? How are you?
I am fair to find. It's been a long day for me, but I made a commitment, so here I am.
It's nice to have you, sir, and the viewers. We're so happy to have you, man. And how has the year been, 2026, so far?
This conference here is a conference here like no other. You know, I'm sure that the last 30 presidents or so have never faced a Hurricane Melissa. You know, so you know that has certainly thrown a spoke in our wheel. But I think we have risen to the occasion. I think we have the conference here, notwithstanding the bouncers that were bold, that you know with the JTA, the association, the teachers have done remarkably well under the circumstances. You know, this year, no more than any other year, there's a word that we use that is so to the point where it has almost become cliche. Resilience. Yeah, and everybody is using resilience now to speak of the education system and to speak of the teachers. And they have really indeed been resilient. The JTA has been resilient. We have really weathered the storm, really. But we have been resilient from you know from the time when the pyramids of Egypt were were developed. You know, but we have I think we have gotten to a point, Sir Cummins, where we have normalized you know, under resource. We have normalized it and we call it resilience. And we have normalized this thing where you're not paying teachers the way that they ought to, and we call it resilience in spite of. We have normalized that sort of thing, and teachers are operating as if they are indentured servants. Yeah.
You've made a very powerful yeah, I'm not sure, I don't think the pun was intended, but you've mentioned weathering the storm. What is the education, well, specifically for the teachers? I know several schools are damaged because of the Hurricane Melissa. Mr. President, what is the temperature on the ground? We're going to get to the wages, but in terms of the infrastructure that teachers have to be working in today, what is that like?
Well, I have noted certain comments coming from the Minister of Education. I am awaiting an updated report from the RO in the western part of the region. But what I can say is that going into the summer holidays, a team from the JTA as well as our American counterpart, the AFT, American Federation of Teachers, we did some site visits in Westmoreland, in St. Elizabeth, in St. James. And what I can say is that generally speaking, our teachers have been working in some horrendous conditions. And you know, there's a saying within the JTA that the working condition of the teacher is the learning condition of the child. So it says a lot in terms of the condition of the teacher, the working condition of the teacher, and what was happening based on what we saw. What we observed in many instances that teaching and learning was not taking place. A significant teaching and learning was not taking place. And what I mean by this is that, a significant component of the learning experience has to do with the environment. And what we saw in terms of tents and the tents being, segmented, one class over there, another class over there, the teachers fanning students hot, there was no way that effective teaching and learning could have taken place.
So, Mr. President, what if persons should say to you, but Mr. Malava, you'd have to understand that we were just hit by a Category 5 hurricane that damaged schools, and we have no choice but to sit in tents. What would be your response to that?
So here's where I'm at. I have no issue with that, but the conditions of service is important. And one of our American counterparts use the analogy of industrialized chicken coop. And but I don't think he went far enough, because an industrialized chicken coop at the very least have fans. And what I will say is a localized chicken coop, because that was what we saw. Really, it's the conditions, and let's not forget that Jamaica is a signatory to the ILO conventions of occupational health and safety. What we saw was a violation of occupational health and safety that Jamaica is a signatory to at the ILO conventions, United Nations. And if you are in violation of that, you are in violation of that. What we have asked for, and we have written to the ministry, is outlines in terms of what we outline, what we have observed, and we ask for certain things in that letter. What we want to see are tangible steps taken to alleviate the working conditions of our teachers within those spaces, and improving the learning condition of our students. That's what we want to see. Yeah, and we must not compromise on standards and what that means. Yes, we have faced a Category 5 hurricane, but it does not mean that we should allow or stand by idly and allow our teachers and our students to be in that sort of environment. And what I would say as well as this, many of the persons who will say that have never spent 2 hours in the spaces that our teachers are being asked to operate in. They are sitting in the comforts of their ACs. They are sitting in the comforts of their offices and making all sorts of pronouncements. They are not having that lived experience that the teacher is having. They are not experiencing having to be printing outside and teaching. They are not experiencing that. They are not experiencing cooking outside.
Cooking outside?
What I mean by cooking outside is you're in the kitchen, but there's no roof there. That's what we are seeing. That's what we're seeing. And our teachers are working in those type of conditions.
Mr. President, what I'm hearing is you're right. So many of us, especially those who are in different parishes, sometimes we will hear, an advocate like yourself for the teachers, and some persons may think that people are exaggerating these realities. And I will be frank, I hear persons would love to make jabs at the presidency of the JTA as exaggerating. It comes from a specific political party that will go unnamed. But certainly persons try to exaggerate your advocacy. We're going to get to the wages, but what would you say to those who would make it seem as if you are just being theatrical?
Well, here's where I'm at. I've always been a frank individual, and I've always, spoken my truth. uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, and as a leader, your back really has to be broad. And I understand that my style of advocacy has made some people uncomfortable. But discomfort and truth are in no way synonyms. Yeah. What I have done is spoken the truth on behalf of the teachers of this country, and I will always stand and speak my truth and speak the truth of the teachers. And discomfort is what it is. And as such, people are would often try to deflect from the realities on the ground. Nobody, none, not one single individual can dare challenge me in terms of the education system, what is happening with the education system, and what is happening with our teachers, because I speak from a position of facts. And I've always spoken from a position of facts. Notwithstanding how controversial my stance may be, I speak with facts that I can always substantiate and back up.
The firm words, ladies and gentlemen, I'm encouraging you to like up the live. Firm words from the president of the JTA. I'm certainly, Mr. President, being controversial is not necessarily being untruthful. It's just a matter of challenging the status quo. I agree with you there. It has been months since Hurricane Melissa. And what we've heard as it relates to a lot of the things that should be happening in this country is that we have suffered an unprecedented weather system that has caused a lot of things to be on a halt. As it relates to the wages of the teachers, because my mother was in the early childhood system. She taught. I know so many teachers. You know, as I was saying before you came on, that teachers play such a vital role in society. My God, many of us we all have a favorite teacher that we remember that gave us gems, not just taught well, but there seems to be a long-term struggle, Mr. President, where teachers demand for A and they're given promises or they're not given A at all. What is happening? Shed some light on that.
So we have been negotiating since 2025. So since December 2025, I believe it is, yes. From the time we submitted our list of claims, we have been negotiating. We are now in year 2 of what is supposed to be at least a 3-year contract. We have made our submissions to the Ministry of Finance, and we did that from 2025. 28 key items on our list of claims. And our list of claims covered the broad gamut of the education system. What many persons don't know is that our list of claims, the vast majority of items on our list of claims has nothing to do with salaries, but has to do with standards within the education system. That's what many persons don't know.
Standards
like minimum standards for building, minimum standards for security in our schools, minimum standards in terms of funding of our schools. Those are some key things that impacts the ability and effectiveness of a teacher within the classroom. And we have asked for various things in terms of those standards in our schools. There are items that we have asked for that in terms of the financial component. There are items that we have asked for in terms of housing solutions. So we have asked for our entire gamut, but the majority of the items that we have asked for in terms of our list of claims are things that we believe will positively impact our education system and help to transform our education system. So those are some of the things. We are now, there has been a lot of back and forth between us and the Ministry of Finance on some of those items. Some of those items were referred to the local level, so we have to engage the Ministry of Education on those items so that it can go back to Finance. The process has been tedious and slow, but we have been very strategic and deliberate in terms of how we negotiate. We have been negotiating this year. We are anchored in research. We are anchored in what is happening in the various jurisdictions. We are anchored in the data. And oftentimes we are in there in the negotiation with the ministry. We are crunching the numbers and indicating to them what is happening. Yeah. So we have been very strategic and deliberate in terms of how we have negotiated. I think where we are now, and you are hearing this for the first time because I got that update today, that we return to the negotiation table on the 5th of August. The last offer that we have gotten from the government, we rejected because we believe that whilst we had achieved some gains, particularly on one key item, it is almost as if they're giving with one hand and taking with the other. And we have said to them, no, we are rejecting this and we want to continue negotiating.
Yeah, so, Mr. President, I like what you've said in terms of the advocacy style being data-driven, grounded in facts. Certainly, you want to be backed by what is the standard. You also mentioned something very important. It's not just money, give us money, but you've mentioned that there are a number of things that you've been asking for from the government, not just money, but certain resources, security, because person may not think about it, but teachers would like to also feel safe while being at school. And when you think about it, some of our students, boy, they are a different breed now, because they will even wage war against the teachers too. It's a serious conversation. But Mr. Malava, in terms of the August 5th, and certainly this is an exclusive one because we're hearing this for the first time, you return to the table to discuss. What if those demands are not met? What will the JTA or how will the JTA respond?
Well, here's where I'm at. We have been negotiating. We have always gone to the negotiation table in good faith. There was a point in time where the teachers were highly agitated, and they called us back to the negotiation table. And I went out on a limb to say, colleagues, let's hold strain. Let's continue to negotiate. But there comes a point in time. Where enough is enough. And from where I sit, I am hopeful that in returning to the negotiation table, that there would be an even better offer. So for us to take to the members. We will be going into our annual conference on August 17th to the 19th. Let me even back up. We hope to have an offer that we can put to the members. But if the members deem the offer a further insult, or there is no improved offer, then I am certain that the teachers are going to take matters in your own hands.
Mr. President, what do you mean by own hands? Are you saying that the teachers might protest?
Well, here's where I'm at. At that point, all options are on the table. That's where I'm at. The teachers are going to indicate in a very tangible way, or demonstrate in a very tangible way, their level of frustration. I am certain, having kept my finger on the pulse of the teachers, they are in no mood for any delays. As a matter of fact, if you recall last year, when the 0% was on the table, quite frankly, if that 0 did not come off the table, we would have faced some sort of action.
Mr. President, would you be in support of those tangible responses from the teachers?
Well, from where I sit at that point in time, I will be immediate past president. But from where I sit, we have to, as leaders, we have to subject ourselves to the dictates of our members.
That's a good answer, Mr. President. Certainly, I because I've been hearing on the ground that some teachers are quite disgruntled because they've been holding it. They try to show up for their students
Yes, they
ever
have.
so often. You know, the passions of teachers.
Yes,
I
they
think
have.
sometimes it works for them and against them because teachers, because of the love they have for our children, they will tolerate those hot rooms without no fans, cooking outside for months. The hurricane passed and gone months now. We hear of all the billions of dollars that are there, and then there's still nothing, and then the salary, of course. What would be your you know, commendations, or not even commendations, but what would be your encouragement to the Ministry of Education regarding these matters?
Teachers, sometimes we are our worst enemies. And what I mean by that is that, every time there is an issue in which, there is almost where teachers are tempted to withdraw their service, they always remember a child. They always remember Joseph or Harry, who, if they don't turn up, that child won't eat. They always remember that there is a Melissa. I don't like using that name now, but there is a Melissa in which if they don't turn up, Melissa won't get her book. If they don't turn up, Melissa, there's nobody to talk to Melissa. Yeah? And no matter, here's where I am, Sir Cummins. No matter how bad a child is in school, there's always that one teacher that child listens to. And whenever that child is, that teacher is absent, that child feels abandoned, and that plays on the teacher's psyche. And so we always turn up, we always endure, we are always resilient. But resilience is not a synonym for invincibility. Our teachers have bills to pay. Our teachers have ambition like anybody else. They want to own homes. They want to own a car. They're not asking to be rich. They're not asking to drive Benz and Prados, and they don't even want a RAV4. But our teachers must can afford a Mams or a Axio. Our teachers must can afford a two-bedroom, and if it's even a plot of land, and to build a one room there and a one room there. All our teachers have been asking for is a salary in keeping with their value and their worth. Here's a reality. Our teachers, as per the CAPRI report, our teachers are amongst the lowest paid in the Caribbean.
What?
Our teachers. Second, Haiti is at the bottom, and I think another Caribbean country. But we are amongst the lowest paid in the Caribbean. Yeah? And guess who are our highest paid?
Who?
Our politicians.
Oh, that's right.
And
so you're saying, so Mr. President, we've heard of the controversial increases for all our politicians. You're saying that greater considerations should have been taken for our teachers even more so than the politicians?
Well, here's where I'm at. I have no issue with politicians getting their increases, but the same report that was used that the politicians leverage to pay themselves the increase is the same report that recommended that the classroom teacher be paid a certain amount of money, and that was not honored. That's my bone of contention. What is good for the goose must be good for the gander. And Jamaica is the only Caribbean country that has a teacher migration problem. Bahamas doesn't have that. Barbados, as little as Barbados is, they don't have that. Trinidad doesn't have that. But Jamaica has a teacher migration problem. Yeah? Teachers are leaving for greener pastures. And here's the reality, Sir Cummins. it is our premium teachers that are leaving for greener pastures. And what I mean by this, a teacher coming out of Teachers College, fresh out of Teachers College, for example, comes with the pedagogy, comes with the training. But in terms of optimizing their real potential, that takes years, a minimum of 5 years of on-the-job mentorship and that sort of thing, professional development. And so there's that investment. Yeah. And so by the time the teacher reaches 20, spend that 5 or 6 or 7 years in the system, benefiting from mentorship, benefiting from professional development, the teacher uproots and move with all of that to another country. And the system is left to suffer because those that are coming up are not necessarily going to be at that optimal level. Yeah? Because let's face it, when a teacher between, let's say, 23 and 45, 50, they are at their optimal level. They are the ones that are stressing over the children. They are the ones that are calling the parents. They are the ones that are doing so many things just to get that one child moving. They are the ones that are forking up money out of their pockets to buy, to give the child lunch money, to buy uniform for the very same child, yeah, and to buy resources for their classroom. They are the very same ones, yeah. They are the ones that are there on sports day. They are the ones that are turning up at the child's home. They are the ones that are staying back. By the time you touch between 45, 50, 55, you're on cruise control. After 55, you start to watch the calendar, looking forward to retirement. So the point that I am making is that it is the more energized. And let me just put a caveat out there for my listeners. I am not saying that those persons in a certain age group are not contributing. I'm not saying that. All I am saying is that, from an age-specific perspective, is that these are the ones that are, lifting up, and the burden is left on the others to carry the system. And teachers are leaving because of greener pastures. The research is out there. There is a multiplicity of reports that speaks to teacher migration, that identifies the factor. You can do a synthesis paper, yeah, to indicate what it is that are the factors that are causing teachers to migrate. The number one factor is salary. The number one factor. The second one has to do with resources. There are other factors that have to do with family, other factors that have to do with work environment, leadership, all of those. But the top 2 or 3 factors have to do with resources, salaries. Those are the top 2, resources and salaries. So any conversation about fixing our education system must start with how is it that you're going to pay a teacher in keeping with their value and their worth. That's all the conversation is about. You're piling on. Sir, let me tell you something. Every year, every term, there's an additional responsibility that is tacked onto the back of a teacher. Every year, every term. More is being demanded of our teachers. But you're not paying them a salary commensurate with those responsibilities. And for that, the JTA takes issue, and we are uncompromising on that, and we will not back down in representing the voice of the teachers.
Mr. President, those are firm words. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in, and ensure that you continue to like up the live. You've made a very important point in terms of the teachers deserve to earn so that they can live a comfortable life. They too have families, they have children, they have ambitions to meet certain needs. And it would be unreasonable for any Jamaican or anybody at all to not want our good, hardworking teachers to reach those places. In terms of wages and salaries, you mentioned that it is one of the main reasons why persons are leaving the country. Doesn't this affect though the entire education system? Because we want our students to be doing well, but if our premium teachers, as you've mentioned, continues to leave, those who are well equipped, those who check in on the child, those who play a lot of roles, dual roles, they are parents, they are teachers, they are counselors, then how can we have a future of having a good education system? Do you have anything to say regarding that?
That will not happen. It will not happen. Transformation will not happen if it is that the most important ingredient, or one of the most important ingredient in the transformation process, is limited or absent. It will not happen. And when you look at the Patterson report, the Orlando Patterson report, when you look at the Ernst & Young report, when you look at the 2021 IDB report on education, yeah, when you look at the CAPRI report, all of them are very specific in terms of what needs to be done to lift the lot and the profile of our teachers to get it to where we ought to be.
Mr. Malava, I think we have about probably 10 more minutes left before we bring the curtains down. But we're at a point in the conversation when I am compelled to ask. We've seen a growing concern regarding our teachers leaving Jamaica, specifically under this administration. Certainly, you've been trying to meet common ground with this government. Why is it that you've not been able to reach that level of compromise then, or compromise on their part, compromise on your part, where everybody can be happy? What is the problem?
Well, here's where I'm at. The teacher migration issue have spanned administrations or different administrations. Yeah, in recent times it has become somewhat chronic, but there have been spikes over the years with respect to teacher migration. Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, man, certainly.
Okay, so there have indeed been spikes. I believe we oftentimes refer Finland as the model of education, and Singapore. And last year, a delegation from the Jta visited Singapore, and this year, next month, a delegation is also visiting Finland. But here's the reality with Finland and these countries. The transformation within these countries from an economic standpoint, in terms of productivity, in terms of GDP, it was built on the back of the education system, because these countries recognize that for economic development to take place, for economic growth to take place, the foundation that is required for that must be education. And it took a conscious effort to invest in education and to invest in teachers. Finland is amongst is ranked the best education system consistently in the world. They pay their teachers a very good salary. As a matter of fact, they pay them on par with doctors in Finland. Yeah? Wow. They pay them on par with doctors in Finland, because they recognize that whilst doctors might work on the body, the teachers work on the mind.
Are you saying that the teachers in Jamaica should get a salary equivalent to doctors out here?
I am saying that the teachers should get, yes, I am saying that. I am saying that. That, from where we sit, because of the nature of what we do. Because everything that if crime is up, education. If education is a problem, if there's an issue with values and attitude, education. Yeah, everything is public education. Yeah, and I am saying, if that is how we see it as a country, then invest in it. We will never achieve the economic gains that we want as a country until we recognize that we have to invest in education. Here's a reality. A colleague of mine did a research the other day looking at the per capita spend of national security. And in recent times, the numbers have been trending in a particular direction in national security. And if you have been following national security for over the years, you'll have seen the significant investment and in terms of infrastructure, in terms of certain things. And he tracked it. My colleague tracked it over a number of years. What he found was that in terms of per capita GDP, it has been hovering over education. Over the years. And we are saying the government prioritized national security in a particular way, and they're reaping the benefits of that. Why is it that you're not prioritizing education in that way to reap the benefits also? Because no matter how you look at it, in terms of the gains of national security, it is not going to be sustainable until education system gets to a certain level. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Economic growth in GDP, economic development will not happen until there's a transformation in education. A key component of that transformation is having a workforce that is well paid, efficient, and effective.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were straightforward words from the, I can say outgoing president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Certainly, we don't have to question his stance regarding, how teachers should be treated. Hey, teachers should be earning on that same level as doctors. And he used the model of Finland, how they treat their teachers. We spoke about the resources, the conditions. The reality is that teachers have to be working hard to impart that knowledge, and just how restless the teachers are becoming. Mr. Malaba, I have to ask you before we let you go. I heard on the ground that some teachers will not be showing up for work come September, and that may span across several schools. If we should see sit-outs, I have to call it sit-outs, or no show, would that be the protest that you think may happen?
Well, I will not speculate as to what the actions of the teachers will be. What I am certain of is that the teachers will let their views and their perspectives be known at the beginning of the school year, if it is that there is not a significantly improved offer, and teachers are given that offer in keeping with their value and their worth. I am certain that something is going to have to give, and we'll have a new president coming, Madam Lasanya Harrison, and I am sure she will be prepared to lead whatever charge that the teachers have given her, and I will be right there to offer my support to her in that regard as the immediate past president.
Thank you, Mr. Malav. Thank you, Mr. President. Certainly, ladies and gentlemen, this was a wonderful conversation. The next meeting is August 5, right? So August 5 is maybe we'll have a follow-up conversation. Let's see, just before you head out. But certainly, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate Mr. President of the JTA coming on to share with us the details regarding the JTA, their position, their engagement with the government, the realities that teachers face, what their demands are. Mr. Malava, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. President. That was the outgoing president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Well, let's see. We don't know what type of actions the teachers may take, but certainly the teachers are restless. That's what we know. Wow, we have to treat our teachers better though. It doesn't look good, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost at 500 likes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at 500 likes. Let's get there. We want to touch on this before I go. I'm going to have to go by 8 o'clock. I have to go. But there are a lot of hanky-panky in the Jamaica Labour Party, you know. There's a lot of hanky-panky. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, when we hear these things, we have to take them very seriously. There seems to be a rift. Like up the live, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at 500. Let us get to the 500 before I go. There seems to be a rift in the Jamaica Labour Party. A very serious rift. So much so that Errol Warmington, Member of Parliament, he lashed out at the Prime Minister. He called out the Prime Minister. Yes, that he must intervene, he must respond. This has festered into a broken sore, a sore where broke out. It's nasty, it's gushing, Lord. And it has been happening for some time. I'm getting to understand. And I wonder, how will the Prime Minister respond to what seems to be an ongoing disagreement or feud between Kerencia, as such name Kerencia Morrison, and Olivia Babsy Grange? There was a going home ceremony for the national hero over by Barbados, Mr. I don't, his name slipped me just now, but he died at what, age 90 something? Somebody remind me of the name. And Mr. Abka Fitzhenley was sent. You know that sports falls under Olivia Babsy Grange, stewardship. Sir Gary Sobers. Thank you, Mr. Dave Wedderburn. Some consider this man the greatest cricketer who lived. Anybody agree with that? That's what I hear, Sir Garfield Sobers. I heard that he was one of the greatest cricketers, if not the greatest to have been alive, to have walked the earth, to go on the pitch. Yes, his impact. Oh, he was 89. I heard 90 plus. Well, he was 89. Yeah, man, the older persons could tell me that this man was a legend. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Apparently, the junior minister was not sent. The junior minister was not sent to represent at this who think that we're being distracted. They talk about PNP leaked voice notes, when they talk about Nikisha Burchell, when they talk about Mark Gordon. Nobody says that the JLP is distracted. But as soon as we take a little time, because the people who actually do the real advocacy in this nation is the People's National Party. We are the ones who are talking about the TCN. We are the ones that are talking about the Amber Group website. We are the ones that are talking about so many things. Somebody says Marlon Morgan go. Is who go? Abka Fitzhenley or Marlon Morgan? One of the yes man them go. Because we know them are yes man. One of the yes man them go. The two of them are two peas in a pod. Say if I say Apka and Marlon, me say. If I'm Marlon and Apka, me say. One of them go, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Warmington did not like it. Did not like it. even Cliff Hughes had something to say about it.
Not so with some of the women. They hold grudge, they hold them feelings, them up in them feelings, and then carry belly for each other. Not true? Right? So, Mr. Holness has a problem. He has a problem. Yeah? There's also another view that the Prime Minister, I gather, is of the view that he has to be careful the example and precedence he sets. So a junior minister has a problem with a state minister holding her ground. He decides to move her or transfer her to another place. Then another junior minister with similar issues, will demand similar treatment. So he has to be careful, I'm being told, that he doesn't set an example that may come back to bite him. Yes? So, Mr. Warmington weighed in, and Mr. Warmington is a man who speaks his mind. He's very blunt. If there's one thing about Everett Warmington, you know what is ticking him off. And he said to the parliamentary caucus of the Labour Party that it is the Prime Minister who must intervene, yes, and settle this thing once and for all.
The Prime Minister continues to remain silent on many more important matters in our country. When you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister continues to remain silent on a lot of things. Can you imagine? The Jamaica Labour Party does not believe in young people. I heard that they treated Terrelong in the very same way. They continue to stifle talent or whatever talent they may deem as talent over by the JLP. They hold down, they bring down, they stifle, they destroy, and we don't hear anybody calling it out. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I hear somebody say that the Prime Minister can't say nothing. If you know, you know. I don't need to say much, ladies and gentlemen. But I hear with this thing between Miss Morrison and the stalwart of the Jamaica Labour Party, Mr. Holness can't really say much. The last thing I'll touch is the Prime Minister coming out defending him putting his name on the houses. And you know what the Prime Minister said, ladies and gentlemen?
We cannot give taxpayers money in anonymity. Let me make that point clear. If you are going to benefit from taxpayers' fund, it cannot be anonymous. There has to be a record. There has to be oversight. We have to test that you deserve to get the funds over someone else who is equally or more in need. So we have to do means test. So when we build this and have this ceremony, and we say these units are now built and 5 of them, we are not taking away the dignity of the people. No, we're not taking away the dignity of anyone. The indignity is that they didn't have the house. The indignity is that they were living in cars and under trees and in structures that are about to collapse. It is the giving of dignity now when they get the house. And the pride is not just the pride of the beneficiary, it is the pride of the nation to know that your country, your state has used the taxpayers' funds in an accountable manner to raise the dignity of the people and to raise the dignity of the nation one house at a time. We will not stand and allow falsehoods, misrepresentations, downright lies, and mischief to lead this country astray. This government is committed to communicate with the people of Jamaica on every issue, on every falsehood, on every false claim. We will be toe-to-toe responding. And we're going to step up our response as well, because some of what is said borders on inciting violence. Much of what is said is also illegal and unlawful under Jamaican law, and we intend to prosecute those persons who break the law in this. The nation is at risk if we do not act.
Mr. Prime Minister, when the people outpaced your slow, incompetent, disgusting, and corrupt government to see to it that the people were getting aid, water, food, what did you do? You stopped them? Yes, sir, we must be careful not to take away the dignity of the people. Oh, the dignity, we must preserve the dignity. Help the people, I help the people, you know. And all of a sudden, people were not preserving the dignity of them. But now that the government give people house, now that the people, now that the government, remember, it's my money, you know, help give the people them house now. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm not sure if you are off there under the assumption that this was a Andrew Holness initiative. Listen to me, man. What you're doing is not unprecedented. It's not new. And this is something that you people should be doing. We're not going to go out in the streets and parade and say, yeah, Mr. Holness, the people them get house. That should be a regular day. Now you're talking about that it is not indignity. Fun if you come put plaque pam people wall. When a people taxpayers money make it happen. It's a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. You know why the Prime Minister have to do that? Because they know they have nothing to show to the Jamaican people for their leadership. So they have to go and brand something that should not be branded as an Andrew Holness thing. It's a disgrace. The Jamaica Labour Party now have nothing to show the Jamaican people for what them do. So every little thing, them have to put them name on it. Them have to put them administration on it. It's a disgrace, ladies and gentlemen. It is sad, it is sick, it is out of order. And as usual, when people criticize you, you are willing to go toe-to-toe with them. You know, Mr. Holness, I worry that one day you will implode. Because every time people call you out or hold you or your government accountable, all of a sudden you want to wage war against them. You want to wage war against them. Anything Greek Jamaica to look like you're doing something, Mr. Prime Minister. The horse done gone through the gate. You have failed the people of Jamaica. And let me take it a step further. Thank you for those who supported the super chat. MNC, thank you for the 2 jewels tonight. Let me take it a step further, Mr. Holness. Nothing that you do today or tomorrow or for the rest of this third term can ever cause people to forget how you did treat the Jamaican people through the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. May the people of God and Jamaica never forget. May we never forget how you raided the NHT. May we never forget how the donation money una claim to be sitting down, not doing anything. May we never forget how una continue to gaslight the nurses and the doctors, una not pay no teachers. Yeah, your Malava come and talk it. May we never forget how you treated the people, the children of this country. We will never forget how una politicize the aid. Labour writer get PNP now and get. May we never forget how no come and no drive and drop in on the pothole them, but because you know just wicked and don't care, you not even would have fixed the road them. May we never forget how this Andrew Holness administration destroyed Jamaica. May we never forget. So you know what? Put some more plaques on walls. Cut ribbon till you no fool. name place in the honor of national heroes for all I care. May the people of Jamaica never forget the injustice that was heaved upon the people of this nation, brought to you by the Anjolis administration. May we never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, we've hit our 2-hour mark. I have to run. Let us pray. Continue to like. Father, we give you thanks for your mercies. We give you thanks for your grace. Thank you for a wonderful discussion tonight with the outgoing president of JTA. We hear the concerns of our teachers, and we pray, Lord, that a reasonable agreement will be reached on the 5th of August so that we don't have to see our teachers. I know it would pain them to have to stay away from their passions simply because those who are at the helm of our leadership refuses to give to them what they deserve. Lord, intervene. We pray for the people in the West. We pray for those who have still not yet recovered from Hurricane Melissa. Many are still under tarpaulins and roofs. And yes, we've heard that some of the container homes, they have reached Westmoreland. We give you thanks for that. I pray, Lord, that we will get more so that people can get some hope that things will be better. It's long overdue. The people have been waiting for a very long time. Lord, we pray that you will continually bless this platform. Thank you for those who supported the Super Chat tonight. Pray for all the viewers, all the subscribers, that you will provide and that you will cause a change, a revival in our own souls, so that we will see a revival in our nation and even in the diaspora. Let your name be glorified. Let your will be done. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with me. You've been a lovely audience. Hey, why not? I think we could go out with Mark Golden. Yeah? See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Bye-bye.
Remember my heart and my love belong to you. Oh, stick by me and I'll stick by you. Whenever you cry, I cry too. Oh, stick by me and I'll stick by you. Mix it up, girls. Boy, you know what's in my youth. Don't be so living like you. Big up to Joshua. I've been trying this long time, still I can't make it. Everything I try to do, it seems to go wrong. Seems like I've done something wrong. Why they're trying to keep me down. Oh God bless, no one cares. Hey God, I'm not worth it. I must come one day. It must come. They can't conquer it. It must come. It must come. I've been trying this a long time, but still I can't make it. No one there to give a helping hand. They only try to keep me down. But oh God bless, no one cares. Thank God I'm not the worst. Oh my people, can't you see? They're trying to take this advantage of me now. Better must come. Better must come one day. Better must come. Better must come one day. Better must come. Better must come one day. Better must come. Thank you so much. And just to close out this short set, I want to do a special dedication to two of Jamaica's great
singer-songwriters. I refer to, of course, the late great Pluto Shervington and the one and only Ernest Smith.